In the heart of Kitala, where ancient baobab trees stretched their arms toward the heavens and red earth stained the souls of every traveler, there stood a mansion long abandoned. Its walls were cracked, its windows broken, and vines crawled up its sides like veins of something still alive. Locals whispered that no one who entered the mansion ever returned the same. They said that hidden in its heart lay a book older than the mansion itself, a book that carried a curse, passed down through generations, waiting for the next soul bold or foolish enough to touch it. And one day, that soul was a young woman named Mia. Mia was 25, a woman whose beauty was often compared to the dawn, radiant, untamed, and full of quiet strength. Her skin glowed like sun-warmed bronze, her eyes carried the depth of river water, and her chubby yet graceful figure drew admiration wherever she walked. But Mia was not one to be satisfied with beauty alone. She craved knowledge, stories, and secrets. As a child, she collected scraps of folktales from elders, writing them on palm leaves. As an adult, she wandered ruins, searching for forgotten histories. So when she heard of the old mansion, a century abandoned, her curiosity flared. The villagers warned her, "Do not go there, child. That place breathes curses." But Mia only smiled. Curses are stories waiting to be told. One humid evening, under a fading orange sky, she stepped inside. The mansion smelled of rot and damp wood. Dust hung in the air, shifting with her every step. Shadows clung to the corners like cobwebs. She climbed a broken staircase, her fingers brushing against peeling wallpaper, until she reached a room at the end of a long corridor. The door creaked open, as if it had been waiting. Inside, a single object sat on a table covered in mildew. A thick, leather-bound book, its surface cracked but still pulsing faintly, like skin over a beating heart. The title was scrawled in a language Mia had never seen before. Letters twisted like serpents, glowing faintly silver. Against every warning, against the tightening in her chest, she reached out and touched it. The leather was warm, too warm. When she opened it, the pages smelled of blood and smoke. The words shifted before her eyes, arranging themselves into a tongue she could suddenly understand. It read, "To the one who opens me, I am yours. But know this, every word you read will cost you. And once begun, I cannot be closed." Mia's breath quickened, her fingers trembled. She should have left it. She should have closed the door and walked away. But the hunger inside her, the hunger for stories, was stronger than fear. She turned the page. That night, Mia carried the book back to her small home on the edge of Kitala. She lit an oil lamp, sat cross-legged, and began to read. The first story was about a queen, whose beauty was so great that men went blind upon seeing her. The queen begged the gods to hide her radiance, but they cursed her instead. Her skin cracked like clay, her hair turned to ash, and her voice became a scream that shattered mirrors. Mia felt her chest tighten. The words seemed to echo in her bones. When she looked at her reflection in a bowl of water beside her, she gasped. Her hair had grown longer, just an inch, but sudden, unnatural. She closed the bowl quickly. "It's nothing," she whispered, "just my mind." But that night, when she slept, she heard voices, soft, endless whispers slithering through her dreams. Each day Mia read more. Each day the book revealed darker tales. Women turned to smoke, men consumed by shadows, children stolen by rivers that spoke. And with every story, something changed in her. Her hair, once thick and shoulder-length, now stretched down her back, heavy as rope. No matter how much she cut, it grew again by morning. Her skin glowed unnaturally, almost feverish. And her dreams were no longer her own. She dreamed of the queen, of rivers of blood, of 100 voices chanting her name. Mia tried to stop. She shut the book, locked it in a chest, and hid the key. But at night, she awoke to find it open on her lap, her fingers tracing words she did not remember reading. The whispers were no longer just in dreams. They followed her through the day, curling in her ears like smoke. "Finish us," they said. "Read us. Release us." It did not take long for the people of Kitala to notice. At first, they marveled at Mia's hair, now flowing past her waist. Women touched it with awe. Men complimented it. But soon, whispers spread. Children claimed they saw the strands move like snakes, reaching toward them. An elder swore that in Mia's shadow he saw not one figure, but many. Faces pressed against the darkness, mouths open in silent screams. The market women began to avoid her. Friends stopped visiting. Even her closest neighbor, Mama Odu, shook her head. "You have touched something that does not belong to you, Mia. The book feeds on you. Burn it before it buries you." But Mia could not. The book was no longer an object. It was a living thing, bound to her. When she tried to set fire to it, the flames bent away. When she threw it into the river, it appeared on her bed by nightfall, dry and waiting. One evening, as the moon rose full and white, Mia returned to the mansion. She carried the book in her arms like a child, her hair dragging behind her in thick ropes. Inside the same room where she had found it, the air shimmered. A figure emerged, a woman tall and regal, her face veiled, her voice a chorus of many. "You have awakened me," the spirit said. "The book is mine, yet now it is also yours. Do you know what you carry?" Mia swallowed hard. "A curse." "A hunger," the spirit corrected. "This book is not ink and paper. It is the voices of those who sought more than they were given. Their stories live because they would not die. And now, you are their vessel." Mia dropped to her knees. "Please, release me." The spirit's voice echoed like thunder. "Release is earned. 3 trials await. Fail, and you will become another voice in the book. Succeed, and you may walk free." The first trial. Silence. For 7 nights, Mia was forbidden to speak. If she uttered a single word, the whispers would consume her tongue. The first night was agony. The voices taunted her, begging her to reply. By the 5th night, they screamed, clawing at her mind. But Mia endured. On the 7th morning, her tongue was her own. The second trial, reflection. The spirit commanded Mia to face her reflection in still water. For 3 days, she could not look away. In the water, she saw not herself, but 100 women, queens, beggars, mothers, children, all whose stories she had read. They pleaded, cursed, wept. Some reached for her. By the 3rd day, she whispered, "I see you," and the faces faded, leaving only her own. The final trial, sacrifice. The spirit said, "To be free, you must give up what you love most." Mia wept, for what she loved most was her hair, the gift she had been proud of since girlhood, the very thing the curse had twisted against her. Taking a knife, she cut it all, every strand, until she was bald and trembling. The hair writhed on the floor like snakes, then dissolved into smoke. The book shuddered. The whispers silenced. The spirit appeared once more. "You have passed. You have given up pride, endured silence, and faced truth. The book no longer owns you." When Mia looked down, the book was gone. Only ashes remained, scattered on the wind. Her hair began to grow again, but only to her shoulders, soft and free. The whispers never returned. Years later, Mia became known across Kitala not as the girl with cursed hair, but as a storyteller. She carried no book, but her voice wove tales stronger than any curse. Children gathered at her feet, elders nodded in respect, and travelers carried her words far and wide. And when people asked why she never wrote her stories down, Mia would smile gently and say, "Some stories are meant to be told, not trapped." But sometimes, on moonlit nights, she felt the faintest tug at her hair, as though the voices still lingered, listening. How was the story? Tell us in comments.